Hey friends, and welcome back to Get Your Play Online. My name is Sarah, and I'm so glad that you're joining us for another live segment. Today we have a really fun activity for you. This week's theme is Under the Sea, so we have lots of fun stuff for you. Today, this is what we're going to be making. It is super fun. This activity is a combination of a lot of different stuff. So it's a little bit cooking, it's a little bit of a sensory activity, it's a little bit of a creative or a building activity. So it's a lot of different things, and I think it's going to be really fun. So I'm so glad that you're here. So again, this is a little bit of what your finished product could look like, but as always, you can get creative and make it look like whatever you want. So again, my name is Sarah, and if we haven't met before, hello, I'm so glad that you're here, and let's get started. So I'm going to start by telling you all the things that you'll need for today's activity, which is called DIY Ocean Play-Doh. So that's what we're going to be making today. All right, so here are all the things that you'll need for our ocean Play-Doh. You will need measuring cups and measuring spoons, just like this. You will need 2 cups of flour, like that. You will need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil or baby oil. You will need 1/2 cup of salt. You will need 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. You will need a few drops of glycerine. I don't have glycerine at my house, so I am using corn syrup. That will work too. You will need, this part is optional, but it'll make it look really cool. You can use some gel food coloring. I'm using some blue, so that is what will make your Play-Doh turn blue or turn a certain color. So you can use some gel food coloring. Make sure it's the kind that you can eat. Well, you don't need to be able to eat it, but we just want to make sure it's like not going to stain anything, because if you use food coloring that comes in the liquid form, like with drops or something, just be very careful that you don't want anything to stain anything. So make sure you have a grown-up to help you if you use the liquid kind of food coloring. And then you'll need a big mixing bowl and a spoon, and you'll need some things from outside that you can find in your yard. So you might want to go find some grass, not right now, but a little later. Find some grass and some rocks and some twigs. And you might also want a piece of cardboard, just like this, to be able to put your ocean scene on, like I did. And you can also see that I put some ocean toys on my ocean scene. You can see I have some Lego sharks in here. So if you have any ocean toys around your house, like Lego sharks or little fish toys or whales or mermaids or anything else that it's okay to have in Play-Doh, you could add those toys in as well. So that's what we're making today. Those are all the supplies. You can also see them in the description of the video if you need to check them out again. But that is what we will need for our activity today. We will also need to use boiling water, and that's really hot and it can burn you. So make sure you have a grown-up to help you when it's time to use the boiling water. All right, so that's what we'll need for our activity, and let's go ahead and get started. So gathering your supplies and your measuring cups and spoons, and we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is to get all of our ingredients together, and then we'll measure them out and put them in our bowl. So that's what we do first, and then we add in the water and stuff later. So the first thing is just to get all of our ingredients together, and that's the first thing we do. So let's do that. So go in your cupboard, and first things to find is the flour. So go find your flour. That's the first thing that you'll need to do. So you can see, this is my ocean scene. I'll give you a close-up view while you're looking for your flour. You can see I did it like this. So those are like some rocks at the bottom of the ocean, and then some like tree branches that have come down to the bottom of the ocean. And the blue Play-Doh is the ocean water, and then some sharks that are swimming around in the ocean. So that's how I did my ocean scene. And then some grass is like seaweed that's in the ocean. So that's how I made mine. That's what we're going for today. But if you don't want to like put yours on cardboard, that's okay too. You can just make it like just regular Play-Doh that you can feel around in your hands because it feels cool. So you can do it like that too. All right, do you have your flour? Cool. Let's measure it out and put it in our mixing bowl. So for our flour, we will need 2 cups of flour. Okay. So get out your 1 cup measuring cup. And dip it down in there. Like I said, this activity is a little bit of everything. Right now we're doing the cooking part, but later we'll do the creating part. Right now it's cooking a little bit. So dip it down in there. And try to get it as level on the top as you can, and try not to spill it as best as you can. It's okay if it makes a little bit of a mess, but just do your best. So you can see how my cup of flour is pretty flat on the top. That's how we want it to be. All right, and then dump it into your bowl. So that's 1 cup of flour, but remember we need 2 cups of flour. So we need to do it one more time. So I'm going to reach down in my bag of flour again and get 1 more cup. I'm shaking it off to make sure it's flat on the top. And here's another cup of flour, and I'm dumping it into my bowl. So now I have 2 cups of flour in my bowl. Alrighty. Okay, so now we're done with our flour. I'm just going to put my flour off to the side. We're not going to need any more of that. So next up, we are going to need vegetable oil or baby oil. So this activity, like I said, it looks like a cooking activity, but we cannot eat our Play-Doh. This is not, we're not making food, we're making Play-Doh. So don't try to go eat this later. This is not food. Okay, so here is our, I'm using vegetable oil for mine. So we need 2 tablespoons. So get out your tablespoon one. And I'm going to open up. Oh, that is hard to open. Ugh. There we go. If you're having trouble or if you don't know how to measure things out, just ask a grown-up to help you. All right, so we need 2 tablespoons. So I'm holding my measuring spoon over my bowl in case I have a spill. And I'm carefully and slowly out until my cup is full, dumping it in. And remember, we need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil or baby oil. So I did 1, so now I'm going to do a second one. There's my second one. Okay. So did that. And I'm going to put this right in the sink. I'm going to hold my hand under it so I don't get any drips on the floor. Put that right in the sink so I can wash it later. I'm going to put my flour one in the sink too. Try and not get my kitchen all messy. Okay, and now I am going to do my salt. Okay, so you're going to need 1/2 cup of salt. So to do that, get your 1/2 cup measuring cup out. Mine's 1/2 cup. Or if you have a 1 cup, that will also work, and just fill it up halfway full. So get 1/2 cup and fill it up. Again, do it over top of your bowl in case you spill. And then dump it in. All right. I'm going to put this right in my sink again. So we did those things. We still have a few more things to add in, but now is a good time for you to ask a grown-up to go ahead and get your water to start boiling, because it takes some time to get our water to actually boil. So now's a good time for a grown-up to get that started. Don't do it by yourself. Have a grown-up help you with your boiling water. So you want to make sure that we do it safely. I'm a grown-up, so I can do the boiling water all by myself. I'm going to boil water in a tea kettle, so I'm filling up my tea kettle. You only need, grown-ups, you only need like 2 cups of boiling water, so that's it. And grown-ups, you'll want your boiling water to be ready in like 4 to 6 minutes-ish, so just so you can plan accordingly. So I'm going to put that on high so it can be boiling in about 5 minutes. So that's going to go. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, so my water is on the stove and it's starting to heat up, so it'll be boiling in about 5 minutes, and we're going to keep on adding ingredients to our bowl now. Okay, so our next thing that we're going to add is our 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. Alright, so get your 2 tablespoons measuring spoon out. Or get your 1 tablespoon actually, and then we'll just have to fill it up twice. Alrighty, so I filled it up once and dumped it in, and now I'm going to fill it up a second time. I actually emptied my cream of tartar. Okay. And now we are going to put in our few drops of glycerine. Again, I don't have glycerine at my house, so I'm just going to use a few drops of corn syrup. It comes out quickly, so be careful. There it goes. those ingredients are all in the bowl. Awesome. I'm going to snag a picture of that for the blog. If you didn't know, we also have a blog and a YouTube channel. So on our blog, if you don't like to watch the videos live, or if you don't prefer the video format, we also have a blog where you could just print out a page from our blog, and you can just like take it and just follow the piece of paper instead of having to watch a video to do our activities. So that's a different option if you don't like to do as much screen time. That's a different way that you can follow along with our content. So we like to have lots of options for you. So that's just a plug for our blog. So just wanted to make you aware of that as well. So we have all of our ingredients in our bowl so far. We are waiting for our water to boil. And now is a great time for you to go outside and to grab some stuff from outside. You can get some rocks, you can get some twigs, you can get some grass, because those are some things that we're going to use in our ocean landscape. Again, this is what it's going to look like. You can also go around your house and find things like Lego sharks or whales or mermaids or any other toys that it is okay to have in Play-Doh. But don't go yet, just wait a minute. So this was from when I did a test run of this activity, and I made my Play-Doh a little bit too wet, so you can see that it still looks pretty wet. So I'm going to try and make it less wet this time, but yeah, that's what it looked like the first time around. So that's what we're going to do. But while we are waiting for the water to boil, I'm going to read you a book about dolphins. So you have two choices for what you can do during this time. You can either, so a grown-up should be around to wait for the water to boil. So you can either stay here and listen to my book about dolphins, or you can go outside and get your twigs and your grass and your rocks and stuff for your ocean landscape. Okay, so those are your two choices. So think of what you want to do. My water is almost boiling, so I'm going to show you what to do when your water boils. But those are going to be your two options for what you can do during this time. It's kind of like a figure out the timing of the boiling water situation, because we don't know how long it'll take for our water to boil. I think mine is not quite done boiling, ready to boil yet. But I hear it starting to make noise, so it's almost time. Almost time. Tell you what, kids, go outside. You have like 3 minutes to do a super speedy search for grass and twigs and rocks. All right, so you can go outside right now and do that. Okay? Go ahead and go search. Parents, I'll explain to you what to do when your water boils, because I think that's going to be happening soon for you and for me too. So what you do when it boils is you're going to want to add in only 1 to 1.5 cups of boiling water, and add that in slowly, bit by bit, and just kind of like feel it out, because you don't want it to be too wet. As I was saying, when I did a test run of this activity, I made it too wet, and then it was like more like slime than Play-Doh, and it was not really able to be like formed into shapes, so it wasn't super fun to be used as Play-Doh. So just be careful not to make it too wet. You can always add more water, obviously. So yeah, just like 1 to 1.5 cups. Add it little bit by bit, and then mix it in with your ingredients. Also, food coloring. Now is a great time for you to handle that so that it doesn't make a mess. I'll let you handle that one on your own if you want to add in food coloring. Just a few drops will be enough. So yeah, that'll be plenty. I hear my water. It is almost ready to be taken off. Yeah, you can just add in a few drops, and then your water will spread it out for you. is boiling. We are ready to go. Okay, so I'm just holding my cup over here. Again, kids, please do not handle this boiling water on your own. Please have a grown-up do it for you because it is dangerous. Okay, so I'm going to just do like half a cup right now. I am using a measuring cup because I don't want to add too much by accident. Just doing half a cup. Ooh, that looks cool. I'll give you a close-up view in a minute. So in my head, I'm remembering that I only added in half a cup so far, just so I can keep track in my head. This is what it looks like so far. Okay, I'm going to mix it around. See, and all the water just like disappears because there's so much flour. So this is what mine is looking like right now. It just looks pretty chunky and dry. So remember, I only added in half a cup of water so far. So I'm going to add in another half cup of water. Remember the recipe, I'm going to do it over my bowl. The recipe called for 1 cup to 1.5 cups of water. So this will bring me up to 1 cup. Add that in. Mix it around again. Kids, as you're coming back inside from finding your twigs and grass and rocks, welcome back. I'm excited to see what you all found from outside. Your grown-up is working on putting the boiling water into your Play-Doh mixture. We're mixing it around to try and get our Play-Doh to work. Mine still looks like, oop, it's getting better. It's getting better. Yeah. Still looks a little dry, I think. But I don't want it to get too wet like I did in my test. So you can just feel the consistency of it. Grown-ups can feel your Play-Doh and see how it's doing. Kids, make sure you ask a grown-up before you feel it because it can be hot because it just had some hot water in it. I think mine is good with just 1 cup of water. I don't think I want to add the extra half cup because I think it's going to get too wet then. Yeah, I think that's good. I think I'm going to add in a little more food coloring because it's not really that blue anymore. Yeah, I think 1 cup was good. All right. Yeah, when I was doing my test run, I added in about 1.5 cups or even a little more than that of water, and it was way too much. So, all right, added some more food coloring. And kids, in a little bit, you're gonna get to touch your Play-Doh. I'm so excited for you to start building your see your under the sea picture on your cardboard and get to touch your Play-Doh that you made. It's going to be so fun. Alrighty. I'm going to add in some more food coloring to mine. Again, this is not food, so don't eat it. And be very careful with your food coloring so it doesn't stain your clothes or your counter or anything else. Mixing in my food coloring. I am going to add in just a tiny bit more of water just to help my food coloring mix in, but just a tiny, tiny bit. Kids, what did you find outside? Did you find some grass and some twigs and some rocks? What are your ideas for how you're going to put them on your cardboard? What are your ideas? Start thinking and start getting creative about how you're going to do it. Something else that you can be doing while your grown-up is finishing making your Play-Doh is you can be going on a search around your house to find some toys that would be good to put in your Play-Doh or on your art project. Like I said, I put some Lego sharks in mine. You can go look around your house and find some under the sea things that would be good to put in. You can ask your grown-up though if they're okay to put in Play-Doh because they might get messy. My Play-Doh is still pretty crumbly, but I think that's good because it's sticking together and it's able to be formed into shapes that I want. So that's how I want Play-Doh to be, so that's good. That's better than, like I said, how my test run was. So that's how I'm going to leave mine. If you want to add more water to yours, go for it, but that's how I'm going to leave mine. All right, so I think our Play-Doh is made. Yay. All right. So let's move on to our next step. I had mentioned earlier that I was going to read a book, but I think I'm just going to save that for the end of our live segment and we're just going to keep on moving. So yeah, I'll be reading my book about dolphins at the end of our live segment today, but for now we're just going to get moving on building our under the sea scenes. So our Play-Doh has cooled, or it should have cooled by now. So I think it is safe to touch, but kids, ask your grown-up if your Play-Doh is cool enough to touch because, again, we added boiling hot water into it, so make sure it's not too hot for you to touch. Ask a grown-up. Okay, so this is what mine looks like. There's some specks of blue in it, but it's not blue all over. I'm having some trouble getting my food coloring to go all over it, but that's okay. In the real ocean, light shines down from the sky and some parts look like white and some parts look blue, so that's normal. It's not like all blue, so it's okay. It is all right. Okay. All right, friends, so I hope you have gotten some things from around your house and maybe from outside to be able to put in your ocean craft. And I hope you have a piece of cardboard like I have. It can be a big one like this, or it can be a smaller one like I have in my example. And go ahead and get those out because we're going to start making our craft now. All right. Okay, so how you can do this is you can either use your spoon from your mixing bowl to scoop out your Play-Doh and plop it down on top of your cardboard, Or you can use your hands if it's cool enough, and you can use that to smush it down on your cardboard to make your art scene. Okay? So, spoon or your hands, either way. Alrighty. I'm gonna use my spoon. If you want to have some Play-Doh left over, just to feel and play with, make sure you don't use all of it for your art project. Make sure you have some left over. I think you will have some left over because if you followed the recipe and you use 2 cups of flour, you'll probably have a lot of Play-Doh, especially if you smush it down on your cardboard. You should have some left over, just for fun. However you want to use it. So, something else that you can get is a rolling pin. That is a good idea for you. I don't know where the rolling pins are at my house, but I just thought of that, and that would be a great way to do this too. You can get out a rolling pin. I love how this feels. Feel it in your hands. It feels so cool. Can you smush it? It feels so cool and it's warm. I love how it feels. So I'm just picking out a ball of it from my bowl, and I am putting it on my cardboard and smushing it down so that it covers the cardboard. It doesn't have to cover the whole cardboard. I just want it to cover an area in the middle to make my project. And honestly, I really like how it turned out with my food coloring not going the whole way through my Play-Doh. I like how it looks. Let me show you how it's looking. Look at that. I love that, how it's more blue in certain spots and more white in certain spots, because that's how the real life ocean looks, you know? That's how it looks. I really like that. What are some things that live under the sea? Can you name some things that live under the sea? There are lots of things. See how many you can name. I'll go. Ready? Okay. Shark, jellyfish, fish, killer whale, dolphin, starfish. And I guess I could name like specific types of fish, like clownfish, like Nemo. I like Nemo. Whale, like blue whale, and I said killer whale, and what else? Ariel the mermaid. What about mermaids, right? What else lives under the sea? I know there are like tiny, tiny things that are microscopic that we can't even see with our eyes because they're so small. Wow. Lots of things that live under the sea. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. It does not cover the whole cardboard, but that's all right because I want to have some left over just to play with later. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for mine. I really do love how it turned out with the food coloring gel mixed in. I love that. Okay, so I am now going to take the things that I got from outside. I have them here in a bowl, and I'm going to start putting them on my art project. First, I'm going to put the rocks on. Also crabs and seahorses and sand dollars and coral. I don't know if they're living or if they're dead, I'm not sure. Alright, so I have a bunch of rocks. I'm going to put them down near the bottom because I think rocks are usually near the bottom of the ocean. Again, I'm going to get another picture really quickly for our blog, which you all should check out. Our Get Your Play Online blog at getyourplayonline.com. Alright, I'm going to put my rocks in. That's what it looks like with my rocks on there. Okay. And next, I have a bunch of twigs. So I'm going to put them on there. Just like branches that have gone in the ocean and sunk down to the bottom. They'd be good places for fish to live because they can hide from predators. So I'm pushing them down into the Play-Doh. Alright, so I think that's enough twigs in mine. And I'm going to add in some seagrass or some seaweed in for my last thing. And just like the other ones, I'm gonna put it down and then like push it down into my Play-Doh so it sticks on. I'm going to put a lot of grass down to the bottom with my rocks. This is the create time or the build time. So this, again, is where we get to use our brains and our creative ideas. Because I know that you are all really smart and creative, and you have lots of great ideas. So use your own ideas for how you want to make this project. All right. So this is what mine looks like. Let me hold it up for you. Oh, it's heavy now because of the rocks. You see it? That's what mine is looking like. I really like how it's turning out. And now I'm going to put in my toys. Like I said, I have 2 Lego sharks. You might have some other toys from around your house that your parent says are okay to put in your Play-Doh. I'm just going to stick them at the top because they're swimming in my ocean. And here they are. That is my finished sea under the sea scene or art project or Play-Doh project. So there is my finished product. Kind of looks like a painting, doesn't it? So there's what mine looks like. I would really love to see what yours looks like. So send us pictures of what yours looks like. I would love to see it. You can email them to us at getyourplayonline, or you can just comment them on this video. We would love to see them. Alrighty. So that is the end of our activity. But I just want to remind you to make sure that you help a parent or a grown-up clean up all this stuff, because I bet it made a mess in your kitchen. So make sure you help them clean up all of this. I'm going to give you some time to finish your art project. And while you do that, I'm going to read you a book about dolphins. All right. I'm going to go grab a chair so I can sit down while I read to you. I'll be right back. Okay. And I'm going to pull this out of the way so I can get nice and close. So glad we could hang out together today, and I can't wait to see your pictures of your activity. All right, so as you're finishing up your art project, we are going to read Diving Dolphin, because dolphins are an animal that live under the sea. All right, we're going to learn about dolphins. Diving Dolphin by Karen Wallace. A young dolphin dives through the water. His shiny skin is as smooth as satin. Far below, he sees his mother. His baby sister swims beside her mother. Look, there's the mom dolphin and the baby dolphin. They're swimming next to each other. The young dolphin twirls beside his mother. Their flippers touch. It's kind of like they're giving each other a hug. They rub each other's beaks. Do you know what their beaks are? Their beaks are like their noses. Here's a close-up picture of what their beaks are. Where has the baby dolphin gone? Mother dolphin calls her baby. She makes a special whistling sound. Did you know that dolphins can do that? They can whistle, and it's like their own special language. Dolphins can hear other dolphins whistle. Whistle, whistle. The baby hears her mother calling. The baby turns and stays beside her. The young dolphin swims away with older dolphins. He leaves his mother and his baby sister. He twirls and leaps with the older dolphins. They splash the water with their tails. Hundreds of fish flash through the water. The fish turn together. The dolphins follow. Do you know why they're following the fish? Why do you think dolphins would follow a big group of fish? Why do you think they would? Maybe because they want to eat them, right? Dolphins like to eat fish. The frightened fish swim around in circles. Dolphins snatch the silver fish. Their teeth are sharp. They gulp the fish down whole. The growing dolphin is always hungry. He eats and eats to fill his belly. Here's a close-up picture of the dolphin's teeth. The dolphins turn and dive together. They spin and tumble. They squeal and whistle. Dolphins like to play. When one swims off, the others follow. The young dolphin roams the ocean. He hunts for fish through beds of seaweed. He rides the waves to travel faster. The waves push him over the sparkling water. The dolphin leaps as the sun is setting. The sea is smooth and the fish are hiding. The dolphin sees the fish in the water. They glow like stars far beneath him. The dolphin chases the fish. He swims down and down to the sandy seabed. He does not know the killer whales watch him from above. The killer whales are hungry. Uh-oh. Do you know? Do killer whales eat dolphins? Yeah, they do. It looks like they do. The killer whales shoot through the water. Their jaws are strong. Their teeth are like knives. Here's a close-up picture of the killer whale's jaw. The young dolphin gives a warning whistle. The other dolphins race away. So look, he's warning his friends to swim away because a killer whale is coming. The killer whales swim through the water. The dolphins hear them coming closer. Uh-oh, do you think they're going to be able to get away, or are they going to get eaten and attacked by the killer whales? Uh-oh. The young dolphin hides, makes no sound. This time, the killer whales don't find him. Phew. The dolphin leaps. He breathes in air through a blowhole. Do you know where his blowhole is? Where's the dolphin's blowhole? A dolphin's blowhole is on top of his head. Look. It shows you a close-up picture of his blowhole. Let me show you another picture of a blowhole. I think there was a good one on another. Here you go. Can you see the dolphin's blowhole in this picture? It's right there. There's the dolphin's blowhole. That's where they let air out when they come up above the water. Or they breathe in the air when they come up above the water. The dolphin dives again. A turtle watches him. Turtles are another thing that live under the sea, right? An octopus wiggles past through the water. Octopi are another thing that live under the sea. Now the young dolphin swims back to his mother. His baby sister has grown bigger. Their flippers touch. They rub each other's beaks. Soon the dolphin will hunt for fish again. That's the end of our book, Diving Dolphin by Karen Wallace. Thanks for reading along with me, and I hope that you are finished or finishing up on making your ocean Play-Doh scene on your cardboard. So thanks for tuning in today for Create with Sara or Build with Sara, whatever you want to call it. I'm so glad that we got to hang out together during this time, and I hope that you will join us for more activities during our Under the Sea week here at Get Your Play Online. So I hope you have a really great rest of your day and a really great rest of your week, and thanks for hanging out with me today, everyone. Bye.